Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here, and welcome to the finale of VGC 17 Back-to-Back Battles. It's been a crazy ride. This is the year I produced the most VGC content I have ever had in 1 year, and that's kind of crazy. This is the 190th episode. We almost got to 200. Didn't exactly break it, but I did have some stuff in between, so wasn't able to always produce content. But basically, yeah, it's been one crazy long ride. The team we're using is the team that we actually used in the first episode of VGC 17 Back-to-Back Battles. A few slight changes, but otherwise it's pretty much the exact same team, and we're gonna go down memory lane right now. So this is the finale. Of course, we have Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. This is where one chapter ends, a new one begins, and yeah, this is the final part of this chapter. So yeah, kind of crazy. I mean, I don't think my performances in VG 17 were great at all, in my honest opinion. Like, if you people follow me for tournament results, I had one top 16 in a regional of Virginia, but probably I did the best in my local scene, like in local scene performances, like in general out of my previous years. Kind of tough to say. 2015 I also had a lot of good performances in local season, such as PCs and mid-season showdown, so kind of hard to tell. And yeah, it was like okay, I guess. Also, of course, yeah, so basically regionals, I basically scrubbed out of 2 of them. Got top 32, got top 128, and then I got the top 16 at Virginia, and then the top 8 at Daytona regionals, which was in the post format. And then yeah, basically nationals was kind of a bust. I made top 64, losing the last round to advance to determine whether I would advance to day 2 or not. And then worlds, I didn't even make day 2, which I normally usually do. So yeah, it's been quite a crazy ride. Our first opponent though, let's talk about. We got Tapu Koko, Arcanine, Tapu Fini, Kartana, Nihilego, and Persian. So Metagross is actually really good here. I do like having Persian as a lead. I feel like Persian is very good as a lead here. I think Persian Metagross might actually just be such a safe lead here. Although I could also lead like Persian plus Koko, which I actually like better, to be honest. I like Metagross in the back for that Nihilego. And I think Gyarados in the back. I kind of want Marowak, but at the same time, Marowak only really helps against the Tapu Koko, like everything, and the Kartana, like everything else it struggles against. But yeah, so not exactly my best season, but I feel like in VGC content wise, it's just grown a lot in general. Like obviously when first Sun and Moon came out, like a lot of you people who came out watching, this is probably like the first few months of Sun and Moon were probably the biggest growth I've ever seen on this channel before. I think we got thousands, like literally thousands to begin with, and that was crazy. That was actually crazy. So thank you guys and girls out there for attending this ride with me. But this is the one last ride. Sorry, Edu, but I'm using it here. As, let's see, my opponent leads the Nihilego plus the Arcanine right here. So it's not too bad for me. I could just easily go for a fake out into the Nihilego and a Thunderbolt. I don't know if this is Scarf Nihilego. I do kind of just want to go for fake out Thunderbolt. My opponent most likely just going to double protect, but that would be okay by me. So let's see what my opponent's going to do. Nihilego's going to protect, which is fine. I could have doubled up the Arcanine, but I'm pretty sure it's a double protect here, or maybe just attacking. Yes, I could have doubled up the Arcanine right there, which is kind of a mistake from my part, because this Arcanine's going to be able to get a very powerful Flare Blitz off. This Thunderbolt going to do a very solid amount there, though, as we are going to see a berry from the Arcanine, most likely the 50% berry. It is going to heal it back, and we'll see Flare Blitz, yep, into who? Persian? Because Tapu Koko is already threatened by Nihilego, yep. So Fur Coat ability, look at that damage! Look at that damage, that did nothing. That did absolutely nothing. So what I can do here is just go for Foul Play into Arcanine, I feel like, and a Volt Switch into the Nihilego slot. Or I could just... yeah, I think Foul Play to Arcanine, Volt Switch. No! I meant to Volt Switch to Nihilego. Oh! Great first start. Great first start. That's terrible for me. That's actually terrible for me. Because I would have been able... That's actually terrible for me. I meant to Volt Switch to Nihilego. Oh, we're going to see the Sludge Bomb into Persian, though. I mean... still, like, I would have been able to get in my, like, Volt Switch into Nihilego, go into Metagross, then I could bring out my Tapu Koko, click Bullet Punch plus Thunderbolt, and pick up a KO, like, What? Are you kidding me? I'm gonna go into Metagross here, though. At least I'm threatening a knockout onto that Arcanine slot, and I am threatening a knockout onto that Nihilego slot, so it's not too bad. However, yeah, this position isn't exactly the most wanted position, especially since my opponent, if it has Persian in the back, that's very problematic. So, I'm going to go for a Meteor Mash into the Nihilego, and I think I am just going to fire off a Thunderbolt into Arcanine. Try to pick up that KO, but that's so unfortunate, man. As Nihilego's going to switch out, maybe Tapu Fini to bring into terrain, which is smart. However, if Arcanine goes down, Metagross should be able to live one Flare Blitz based on the Flare Blitz damage. It didn't really do too much. I'll be able to get a +2 Meteor Mash into Tapu Fini, so this really isn't too bad here. So Thunderbolt's going to go out into the Arcanine. Not going to be able to pick up the knockout, but if you go for the recoil into Tapu Koko, that is alright here. As we're going to see the Flare Blitz, is it going to be targeting on my Metagross? It is going to be targeting on my Metagross. Metagross should be able to take that, and it will be able to get a Weakness Policy boost. So, and Arcanine's going to faint. So as long as we hit this Meteor Mash, we should be good. I'm really hoping we hit Meteor Mash. Maybe Bullet Punch would have been a safer play, to be honest, because maybe Bullet Punch would put it in guaranteed Thunderbolt range. But we do connect Meteor Mash. That's so huge. Into that Tapu Fini. Look at that damage. That's beautiful damage, and that's in range of Volt Switch, and Nihilego cannot come out because I do threaten it with the Bullet Punch. So I don't know if like something such as maybe Kartana will decide to come in here. It's going to be the Persian. So my opponent has Persian as the last Pokemon, and that's actually really good for me, I feel like, because now even if Tapu Fini has Calm Mind, it doesn't really matter in this position. Nihilego can still be a threat though, so I do have to be kind of worried about that situation. So Protect with Metagross is very safe, and I feel like just protecting my Tapu Koko is also very safe. Although there might be a feint that could come out here. Although I could also Bullet Punch the Tapu Fini and Volt Switch as well. Although I'm not sure Bullet Punch will pick up the knockout. It does look like it. I mean, Meteor Mash did 70% to it. You know what? I'm going to Protect Volt Switch here. Yeah, I'm going to Protect Volt Switch. Let's see what my opponent does here. I'm going to protect my Metagross here. As whatever you're going to see from the Persian, it's just going to be Fake Out. It's probably targeting on Tapu Koko. Yep. So I could have protected there. Was worried about a feint potentially. And Scald's going to come out into the Metagross. So that's fine. Especially since now I can just Bullet Punch Gleam here for big damage. I'm probably just going to target down the Persian most likely. Because if I get rid of Persian, that's absolutely huge. Persians don't really carry Protect either. I don't know if that's Specs Fini, but if it is, it's not really too much of a problem either. Because of the fact that I will be able to get a Dazzling Gleam off into Persian, we'll be able to pick up the knockout, and I will be able to threaten the Fini the following turn. So it's not too bad. However, like, the last Pokemon, of course, Nihilego is scary. Did we see an item? I don't think we did. As we will be able to get Bullet Punch, this will guarantee the Dazzling Gleam KO. Although maybe another play I could have done was just Volt Switch, but no, then Metagross goes down to a foul play, and then I'm put in a really awkward position. So the Persian is going to go down here, as let's see if the Tapu Fini does carry a berry or not. It is going to be carrying that berry. Okay, so it's going to be healing back to a good amount of health with the Mago Berry, and Calm Mind is going to be set up. I feel like that's a mistake. I honestly do feel like that's a mistake here. The reason I feel like that's a mistake is because you had the ability to threaten my Metagross and pick up the KO, so your Nihilego could potentially win. But now Bullet Punch is threatening that Nihilego, and you really don't want that happening here. So Nihilego's going to come out. I don't see a problem with just protecting my Metagross here and just going for a Thunderbolt here into the Tapu Fini. I could also Bullet Punch here, but I'm not sure. Or I could just double protect and scout who is going to protect from my opponent's side, which does make sense actually, so I'm just going to double protect. The only way this could catch me off guard, maybe if my opponent does carry Trick Room. But, oh yeah, it's Life Orb Nihilego. We did confirm that earlier, I believe. So, no protects coming out from my opponent, okay. As we're going to see the Sludge Bomb into Tapu Koko and just a Scald, I'm guessing. Moonblast into Tapu Koko, okay. So, maybe expecting my Metagross to protect there, but I could probably just guarantee the knockout on Tapu Fini with Bullet Punch Meteor Thunderbolt. Because I'm not sure, does Nihilego protect this turn? I feel like it would, because, you know, Nihilego can not take the Bullet Punch, but Tapu Fini might be able to take a Thunderbolt, so yeah. I'm feeling that my opponent would make this play. So I'm going to be able to get a Bullet Punch off into the Tapu Fini as well as Thunderbolt. And I didn't honestly think Power Gem would knock out my Metagross just because of how bulky my Metagross is. But it might. Maybe that was a misplay, but I had a strong feeling that Nihilego protects there. So I am able to get rid of Fini because I think you need Fini to pick up the knockout on Metagross because Metagross just threatening that Bullet Punch is just so bad for you right there. So I'm gonna be able to pick up a win despite that misclick. I think the misclick, misclick basically, because it might have actually ended this game earlier. But yeah, I'm just going to be able to get Bullet Punch off into Nihilego as well as a Thunderbolt, and that'll be game. Bullet Punch will be able to pick up Nihilego. The original Metagross we had on this team was actually Substitute Lumberry, if anyone doesn't remember, or if anyone hasn't seen the first episode of VGC 17 Baek Battles. But we used to have like sub Lumberry Metagross, and that was back before before we thought like weakness policy was a thing. Metagross wasn't really that common of a Pokemon to use, but I thought Metagross had like, you know, decent potential back then. It didn't really pick up though till like late. I think it like started picking up, I want to say it kind of picked up around springtime. It really wasn't used otherwise basically, and it's been really cool to see some adjustments we've had, and I think this team also reflects some of them. Yes, Persian has evolved. I did use this Assault Vest set, but like people ended up realizing how good Fake Out is on this Persian. Foul Play, Parting Shot. Parting Shot I don't actually have on this Persian because it is the first team I've brought and bred, and like this Persian didn't have, like, Parting Shot was an egg move back then and I didn't have Parting Shot. So it's still the good old AV set, which is still, I think, pretty fun, to be honest. I think it's pretty fun. Snarl, I think, is an underrated move on Persian, but it's been so crazy to see how some of these Pokemon evolved. Like, Porygon 2 used to be one of the most threatening Pokemon in the format just because it's great Trick Room Setter, immense bulk, great recovery, but right now we're not really seeing Porygon 2 that much anymore, and it's really fallen off, to be honest, just because, like, I think most people do realize it's a problem with bulky Pokemon. They sit there, yes, but they can't really do much damage wise, and Porygon 2 is a Pokemon that usually stays around on the field for a long time, so most likely you're going to have one offensive Pokemon in Trick Room next to it, and sometimes, like, if you can't really like go for Toxics or you're not doing damage with Ice Beam, it's basically not really worth the slot there, which is why, you know, Pokemon like a Rangaroo or Nihilego can do well, because, you know, Instruct, offensive Trick Room user, like, I think that's the main reason why. But we got Aron, no, I don't know how to pronounce it. Aron L, I don't know. We got the team of Tapu, Xurkitree, Muck, Metagross, Salamence, and Porygon 2. So this matchup is heavily in favor of my Metagross if I do set it up right. Like, Metagross actually destroys my opponent's team, but I feel like Z-move could be Xurkitree, could be the Tapu Bulu as well. I do have to be cautious of it. So I do like Metagross as a lead here. Metagross kind of shuts down my opponent's Metagross here. And I think I like Metagross plus the Persian. I like Metagross plus Persian. I like Marok in the back, and I like Tapu Koko. I like Gyarados in the back. Tapu Koko really doesn't do much in this matchup. It really doesn't handle my opponent's Pokemon well, other than maybe Metagross for damage. Porygon 2 can Toxic, yes. It doesn't have Trick Room though, so if you don't remember, the first set of this team was actually Ice Beam, Discharge, Toxic, and Recover. That's because, like, back in 2015, and some players opted for Porygon 2, but they didn't really opt for Trick Room. They actually opted for like more offensive and defensive. They ended up running like Ice Beam, Hidden Power Ground for like Chalk variants, and then Toxic for like the Cresselia, and then Recover obviously just for the recovery. So yeah, kind of crazy how it's been involved. But we're gonna see Salamence Muck as the lead here, which I am completely okay with, to be honest, because I could honestly just go for a Fake Out into Muck and a Meteor Mash into Salamence. Like, Salamence really isn't threatening anything right now, and it can't go for a super effective move into Metagross. If it does, it just activates my weakness policy, so I'm completely fine with that if my opponent does decide to do that. Meteor Mash, I could Zen Headbutt because Xurkitree might want to come in, but I don't feel like it's necessary here. I'm just going to Fake Out the Muck and just Meteor Mash because I don't want to risk Muck just attacking. Knockoff does a lot of damage to Metagross if anyone doesn't know, so Fake Out into Muck will come out here, as we are going to see the Flamethrower into the Metagross. So I'm going to get my weakness policy boost early, and that means if I do hit the Meteor Mash, or if I don't get burned, I'll be able to get rid of my opponent's way of boosting his or her own Metagross if it is brought in the back. So we do connect Meteor Mash, nice, and that will be able to pick up the knock, not pick up the knock on Salamence, but that might actually be more beneficial to me, actually. That's actually the first Salamence I've seen live a +2 Meteor Mash. But it actually benefits me because I can go for a Protect with Metagross and a Foul Play into the Muck just for a bit of chip to guarantee Meteor Mash range. And yeah, this should be interesting. So I wonder if my opponent is going to go for Protect Bulldoze this turn. No, just going to attack the Muck. So I do get the Foul Play off into the Muck. That does so much damage, jeez. Flamethrower is going to come out into the Metagross, and I'm pretty sure knock off into Persian. No, it's actually going to be double up into Metagross. So that is actually absolutely fantastic here. Just because now I'm going to be able to... That's a better turn than I'm expecting. Now the ideal turn is I get to hit the Meteor Mash in a Muck to pick up the knockout. I mean, yes, that's the ideal. Of course, if I don't, I'm actually kind of in trouble because Metagross was so good against my opponent's team. But yeah, we're going to see Shadow Sneak actually, so I don't have to worry about like knockoff. Knocking out Metagross, and it's not going to pick up the knockout. So Foul Play is going to come out into that Salamence, pick up the knockout, and if this turn works out, I get the Meteor Mash and the Muck to pick up the KO. Please, Metagross. Nice. Okay, so that's excellent here because I get 2 knockouts here. I get rid of my Pokemon's Intimidate user so Gyarados can set up without having to worry about being slowed down by Intimidate. And my opponent, you know, gonna have limited turns of terrain if my opponent brought Tapu Bulu. So this is all looking very, very nice for me. As Xurkitree is a scary Pokemon to deal with, and Tapu Bulu comes out. So yeah, that Tapu Bulu is definitely gonna be scary. It's 100 gonna be % scary. However, I am thinking we can just go for a Zen Headbutt into Xurkitree. And I don't want to U-turn because if I U-turn into a Pokemon and it protects, then I won't be able to get what I want. Although, yeah, because I don't want him setting up a Tail Glow here. I'd rather Zen Headbutt to Xurkitree, and I think I'm going to switch out into my Marowak here. He might Tail Glow plus Wood Hammer my Metagross though, so that might not be the play. I'd rather go into Marowak though, to be completely honest, because if my opponent goes for like Thunderbolt into Metagross to pick up the knockout and Bloom Doom into Persian or Wood Hammer, then I'll be able to survive his combination of attacks. So let's see what's going to be coming out here. Tapu Bulu protects. Unless it's Discharge, I should be good here. No, it's just Gleam. Okay, Metagross should be able to hang on easily. Yeah, like my Metagross is super bulky. And Zen Headbutt does connect with the Xurkitree. That should be able to pick up the knockout. Or not. That's a bulky Xurkitree. That's incredibly bulky. Wow. But I could just Parasong right here. I don't see a problem with Parasonging, to be honest. Yeah, I could just Parasong Protect because my opponent most likely doesn't have a way that can knock me out unless you have Bloom Doom plus the Hidden Power Ground. But with Dazzling Gleam, I kind of doubt it in this case. So I am going to Parasong right here, and we'll see what my opponent goes for. You can't Thunderbolt in this situation. You can Tail Glow if you want, but it doesn't really matter to me. And I feel like this is the safest play overall. So, yep, my opponent's going to go for Tail Glow. If Bloom Doom crits, I guess this could be something my opponent can come back in, but I'm pretty sure you would hammer the Metagross. Yeah. As we will be able to Parasong right here. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. And 3 turns left. And we have 4 Pokemon, so to be honest, I'm feeling very solid about our position. I think I'm just going to go for Bullet Punch into Tapu Bulu, or I could Double Protect, I guess. But if I Double Protect, I don't like my odds if I do Double Protect, to be honest. So I feel like I'll just go for the Bullet Punch here. Because I want to get the free switch into Persian, then I can fake out the Xurkitree. Not really have to worry about it. So yeah, I'm just going to Bullet Punch Protect. And hope my opponent tries to just get rid of the Metagross here with Dazzling Gleam, which it should be able to pick up the knockout because it's +3 now. So the Bullet Punch is going to go into Tapu Bulu. That will be able to do a lot of damage, but definitely not pick up the knockout because Tapu Bulu is an okay Pokemon in defenses. So Gleam, right there, it's going to target down my Pokemon. Really not doing too much to my team. However, this is still looking extremely good for us. Is it Bloom Doom here? It might actually be Bloom Doom here. As special attack is going to rise, as yeah, it's going to be Bloom Doom from the Tapu Bulu, which I would have to assume is the Z move at this point because we saw the berry on the Xurkitree. And it's kind of cool how these Pokemon evolve too. If we're looking back in the beginning of VGC, Bulu was like, you know, a little bit common, but you know, more people started using it. It's still like the least common Tapu probably out of all of them, but like it's still a Pokemon that's kind of advanced a lot more with the, you know, sub variant with Hornleech, Bloom Doom. You have like SD, you had the Hidden Power Fire set, you had the bulk up Superpower Hornleech set, and Xurkitry's been a Pokemon that's not really been too common. But you know, it got second place at the Pokemon World Championship. It evolved over time. Had that tail glow. Most people didn't really like it because it was pretty frail. It didn't have the best speed stat in the world to abuse it. So yeah, it's been a really interesting ride of some of these Pokemon. And yeah, Persian's gonna come back out. And I mean, yeah, I mean, Muck was kind of common. I mean, it still is. It's done some pretty high placements. Salamence, you know, beginning it was like Draconium special everywhere. Then we had like, you know, the Assault Vest set take over for quite a while, you know, to boost with like Metagross. And we also had the Flying Z get third place at the Pokemon World Championship. It's been a crazy mon. It's been a crazy mon evolving. I'm just gonna fake out Xurkitree and go into Gyarados here. Because of the fact that, you know, Xurkitree won't be able to pick up the knockout, I'm going to be able to secure this game either way, and plus my Persian should be able to live the U-turn, the Wood Hammer from this Tapu Bulu with the Intimidate guaranteed. So yeah, I should be able to win by just clicking Protect next turn, since these Pokemon are down to 2 counts of Parasong, including this turn. So fake out in the Xurkitree. And Hornleech is going to come out, targeting down the Persian, but that's definitely not going to pick up the knockout. Even with a crit, I don't think pick up the knockout. Look at how little damage that did. Persian with that fur coat is the GOAT. Well, it's a cat. It's a cat's pajamas, or is that the right saying? I don't even know. But nice. Nice. And my opponent definitely can't win with a Z move. I have 3 Pokemon. You can't KO 3 Pokemon in 1 turn, especially since only 2 of them are out on the field. So I will go for the... You know what? I don't think we ever really clicked... No, we did click U-turn with... No, did we click U-turn with Persian once? I don't think we have. I'm going U-turn with Persian. And we protecting right here. So let us see what my opponent does. Probably Gleam, I would imagine, plus Hornleech or Woodhammer. As the U-turn gonna go out into Xurkitree, so I get to keep another Persian. Don't let it faint to like a Dazzling Gleam. I go into Marowak here. And yeah, this combination's also been crazy. Like, Marowak is also a Pokemon that's been strange. Like, popular in beginning format, dropped down like in the middle of the format, and then like came back to rise up and win the Pokemon World Championship. That's kind of crazy. Persian also has like had some consistent usages, like, you know, got top 8 at US Internationals as well as top 8 at the Pokemon World Championship. So a lot of crazy Pokemon this year. I honestly didn't think we were ever going to see Marowak back in another top 8 at the Pokemon World Championship. Of course, we did have Sajin Park, who did get top 8 at the Pokemon World Championship with the regular Marowak, which is a pure ground type. So that's pretty cool. As yeah, Parasong falls down, and we are going to be able to pick up another one. So if we can grab one more and pick up another one, that I think is the perfect way to end the series. But man, I don't want to end the series with a loss. Now I have to win, right? I have to win. I'll show you the power of when I think. But yeah, I think it's just been a crazy ride VGC 17 has been. Let me know like what has been your favorite like experiences throughout VGC 17. Have you gone to tournaments? Has this been your first season? What did you think of the format? Like a bunch of questions I feel like could be answered. But what did you enjoy most about VGC, or what did you not enjoy the most? Like, what did you dislike the most? What came out of this format to help you as a player? Because I think there are a lot of things that I was able to do, just reflection on myself, that I feel like I'm going to be even more prepared for VGC 18, just because I'm taking all the lessons I learned in VGC 17, applying them to my knowledge and experience, and going in with a new mindset toward VGC 18. So I cannot wait, man. And of course, Ultra Sun Ultra Moon is coming out soon, and of course the content will be coming out, so do not worry. It seems like a bittersweet ending, but yeah, to be honest, it's just the start of a brand new journey. As we got Brianna, United States 1582, we gotta win this one, right? We gotta win this one. But my opponent's not gonna make this. It's actually not that bad. It's not that bad. Marowak actually destroys my opponent's team, excluding the Garchomp and the Tapu Fini. So Yeah, this is gonna be one interesting one because I don't know what do I do. I do like Porygon 2 plus my Marowak, to be honest. Yeah, I like Porygon 2 Marowak, I think. I think I like Gyarados for the Intimidate for a Garchomp, and I feel like Gleam from Tapu Koko is going to be like the most solid way of being that Garchomp, as well as Thunderbolt for that Tapu Fini. So basically what I got to do is take care of the Garchomp as well as the Tapu Fini, and then my Marowak just wins. And even then, like, if I get rid of everything else that like threatens like my Marowak, such as like if Marowak is able to get rid of like the other 4 Pokemon, like 2 of the other 4 Pokemon my opponent will probably bring, like, then Porygon 2 just wins the game with Toxic, Ice Beam, and Discharge. So we'll see what my opponent brings here. Let us get that win. Let's try to get that win. Let's make this a 3 wins for the finale of VGC 17. We have the Marowak Porygon 2 out on the field against my opponent's Tapu Koko Raichu. So this is ideal lead right here, because I am able to fire off a Ice Beam and Shadow Bone. Unless it's Shadow Psyche, but that Raichu I would assume it's oh, it's Air Balloon. Huh. I was expecting. And again, Attack Rise for Porygon 2 doesn't really matter at this point. I'm gonna go for a... I wonder if he would switch into Garchomp hard, or if he would go out into like... I wonder if he would go into Garchomp hard, or if he would just go into Tapu Fini. I think I'm just gonna Shadow Bone the Raichu and Ice Beam, to be honest, because it does catch Garchomp on the switch in. Yeah, as Raichu switches out, is that Garchomp or Tapu Fini? It's gonna be Tapu Fini, so I kind of regret not discharging, to be honest. Discharge would have been a great move there, but I get a lot of damage. Tapu Koko really can't do much to me unless it has like an HP ground. Taunt, okay. That's really not going to help my opponent out too much, so I am definitely okay with this, as I will be able to get an Ice Beam off. I'm faster with my Porygon 2 than my Marowak? Huh. Did not know that. As Shadow Bone will come out into that Tapu Fini and do a decent amount of damage. Ooh, that did a lot. And it's leftovers Tapu Fini, so it's definitely not picking the knockout to my Marowak. So, ooh. And I can go for a Discharge? Like, Tapu Koko's really only useful for the Tapu Fini, so I really don't need it. So I'm actually going to go into Tapu Koko just to be able to discharge the Tapu Fini with the Electric Terrain, which should allow me to pick up the knockout. And what this allows me to do is, if I sack Tapu Koko here, since it's not necessary at all for me to win this game, I feel like I'm put in the best position possible. Even if you Gleam plus Muddy Water here, I'm still in the best position as long as like accuracy drops don't happen. So let's see. Scald's gonna come out into the Tapu Koko slot, so that's definitely not picking. That's definitely picking up the knockout, which is fine here. But as long as I get this discharge off into the Tapu Fini and pick up the knockout, we are really solid right here. So we're gonna be able to get the discharge off into that Tapu Fini as well as the Tapu Koko, pick up that knockout. For on Tapu Fini, I don't think that matters. This is Electric Terrain discharge, so we are able to pick up the knockout, and I'll be able to go out into my Marowak once again. I don't care if my opponent goes out and, like, if it's Pheromosa or Arcanine in the back, I feel like Marowak just wins. If it's not, then if it's like Garchomp, I get Gyarados in later. So it's gonna be Raichu coming back in, which is completely acceptable here because I just click Shadow Bone and Ice Beam. So I'm just gonna Ice Beam and I'm gonna Shadow Bone the Raichu. I'm not sure my opponent actually has a way to win. We'll see, because I'm pretty sure you bring out Garchomp there, as it's just going to be Psychic launched into Marowak. Okay, that's not going to do too much. Hopefully no special defense draw. Nope, and Dazzling Gleam going to come out, not really do too much, as, yeah, really doesn't do too much there, as Shadow Bone is going to come out into that... Well, Shadow Bone's gonna, Ice Beam's gonna come out of Tapu Koko, weaken it even more, and Shadow Bone's gonna pick up the knockout Raichu. So we're already in a phenomenal position, and it comes down to my opponent's last Pokemon. Is it Pheromosa? I'm a bit scared about Pheromosa now, just because my Marowak has been weakened a bit. Let's see. And Taunt wears off, which is great. As let's see what's coming out here. Is it Pheromosa? If it's Pheromosa, that's really annoying. This is gonna be Pheromosa. Okay. So I don't feel too bad about this because what I can do is just Trick Room, I feel like. Oh, I don't have Trick Room. I feel like I could just double up Koko here because if you pick up the knockout onto the Porygon 2 with your Pheromosa, then Tapu Koko can't pick up the knockout onto Marowak. So I rather just go for like a KO on top of Koko so Gyarados can potentially win, because I think Gyarados can beat the Pheromosa 1v1, as it's just gonna go for the high jump kick, not even a Z move actually. Smart, maybe just to keep it for like the Gyarados or something. So I would assume it's physical. I would assume the Pheromosa is physical, and it is attack rise, so it is physical. Gleam, as long as you don't crit, we should be good. I was ready for that crit right there. Shadow Bone's gonna knock out the top of Koko, which means I don't have to worry about top of Koko anymore. And now I basically am just gonna go out into my Gyarados. I think I'm gonna protect. What do I want to do? Do I want to protect? Let's see. If it's attack rise, then it has to be Naughty Nature Pheromosa. But even with the Naughty Nature, I'm not even sure if Gyarados can survive. I do want to protect. I just want to scout for the Z move right here, because we haven't seen a Z move from my opponent's team, and most likely that Pheromosa is carrying that Z move, unless like maybe my opponent only has the Z move on the guard jump. But I'm just gonna double protect. I want to scout for that Z move, and basically what I want to do is I just want to double protect here, because if it is Z move, like a crit Z move in oh wait, no, that doesn't even make sense. Like what I'm thinking is like you crit with Z move my Marowak, and then you survive with your Pheromosa, but that doesn't even make sense, to be honest. It really doesn't, because even if you do that, like then you just die to Flare Blitz. So yeah, that's just a mistake by my part. Yeah, I'm just gonna Shadow Bone and Hydro Vortex. I should be able to pick up the knockout Pheromosa. Poison Jab gonna come out into the Marowak, so yeah, this is still gonna be kind of close. This is still going to be kind of close, as Marowak is going to go down. But unless you're Focus Sash, you shouldn't be able to live my Gyarados' Hydro Vortex. And if you are, then you have to crit my Gyarados, because the +1 attack is definitely not going to be able to pick up the knockout on Gyarados, for sure. As we are going to go for the Hydro Vortex here. And come on Gyarados. I want this 3 wins. I want this 3 wins. Show me that the first team I created has evolved. Show me as a team and as a player that we have evolved. It is Focus Sash, okay. So I guess I could protect the Marowak and went for a Waterfall, but again, if you crit the Gyarados right there, it's bad. But now my opponent gets a +1 crit chance, so yeah. As protect is worthless, I just go for a Waterfall right here. So let's see, do you have a move? Poison Jab, I don't think a crit will knock me out, to be honest. Yeah, crit would have knocked me out. Crit poison would have knocked me out, but luckily Waterfall will just be able to finish off the Pheromosa, and that would be good game. So we're gonna finish off this last episode of VGC 17 Baek Battles with 3 wins. 3 wins, insane. But I think that's a good ending. I hope that everyone did enjoy today's episode of VGC 17 Baek Battles, the last final episode. Again, let me know your experiences of VGC 17, what you have learned from it, what did you enjoy most about it, what did you hate most about it. Yeah, like tell me all those kinds of things down below in the comment section. If you have missed any previous episodes of VGC 17 Baek Battles or want to go back and watch the playlist, you can check it out down below along with the social medias that I have, and you can check out the side series on the channel. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is going to be quite the ride, and I hope to see you there, as well as yeah, a brand new journey. It starts kind of crazy, but yeah. Thank you all for watching. It's been a pleasure to basically be just playing games, just be myself, and I don't know, people watch me. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, kind of crazy when I think about it. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you have I hope you had a great season. I hope you have a great next season. Good luck to everyone, including new and old viewers, new trainers, old trainers, experienced veterans. No matter what, just hope you have a great season, and hope that you enjoy VGC 18 as well as I hope I do too. Catch you around in the next episode of VGC 18 Baek Battles.